I now request our chairman, Mr. Narendran, to hand over the Sir Jahangir Gandhi Medal for Industrial and Social Peace to Mr. Sanjeev Mehta.
I now call upon Mr. Sanjeev Mehta to give his convocation address.
Shri T.V. Narendran, Chairman XLRI, Governing Board and CEO and Managing Director Tata Steel, Father Christie, Director XLRI, Dr. Ashish Pani, Dean Academics, Father Donald De Silva, Dean Administration and Finance, members of the Governing Board, alumni, faculty, staff, the proud parents and family members of the graduating class, and yes, the students. Namaste. I am delighted and deeply honored to be with you today. I would first like to express my gratitude to the Governing Board of XLRI for bestowing on me the prestigious Sir Jahangir Gandhi Medal for Industrial and Social Peace. It is a big honor and great privilege to receive this medal. Thank you. My heartiest congratulations to the graduating class. This is a day of celebration. This is a moment of pride, high emotion, and joy for all of you who are at the threshold of realizing your aspirations and potential. The ultimate measure of a person is not where they stand in the moments of comfort, but where they stand at times of challenges. I'm once again reminded of Martin Luther King's thoughts as all of you stand at a momentous time in history. You, all of you, are the chosen ones. You hold the power to create a new world, one that is equitable, inclusive, sustainable, safe, peaceful, and fair. One where no one goes hungry, one where the planet doesn't suffer, one where children do not die of preventable diseases. 2020 has not been an easy year, and for many of you, it may have sown the seeds of doubt. Let me tell you unequivocally, I believe in human ingenuity and a capacity to change and survive. We have the intellect, we have the technology and science. We can create financial capacity, we have the humanity and a visceral instinct to survive. The world may have been marred by uncertainty, but it is temporary. On the other hand, it has also opened a whole new set of possibilities and opportunities for all of us, and more so for the young and educated, like the graduating batch today. The word crisis, written in Chinese, is composed of two characters. One represents danger and the other represents opportunity. Today marks a new beginning, the start, when you are moving out of the sheltered confines of the university to face the ups and downs of the real world. The degrees that you have earned are not a passport to a fulfilling life, but should be treated as a call to action as you get set to seize the opportunities with your wisdom and are entrusted with the responsibility of making the world a much better place to live in. While each one of you will chart a unique voyage, let me share a few lessons from my time navigating the waters in India and abroad, be it in calm weather or during a storm. First, purpose and values. As Mark Twain puts it, the two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. With the world changing at a pace faster than ever, people feel adrift. They lose sight of who they are and what they stand for. And it is during these turbulent times that finding a purpose and working constantly towards it makes them feel anchored. In Hindustan Unilever, it is not about selling soaps and soups, but about making a difference to people's lives. Through our small actions, we try to make a big difference. We go by the maxim, profit through purpose. We have three fundamental beliefs in our business. Companies with purpose last, brands with purpose grow, and people with purpose thrive. As the head of Hindustan Unilever, it does give me satisfaction to see the market cap of HUL grow many folds. But the bigger joy comes from living my purpose of making heroes out of ordinary people. Seeing my team members blossom to become big leaders, coaching and mentoring youngsters from different walks of life, or seeing my twin daughters become worthy citizens of this world is what gives me immense satisfaction. Purpose needs to be coupled with a set of values that are non-negotiable. Some of the key values I imbibed from my parents were integrity, ethics, being human, and love for the nation. At Hindustan Unilever, we would be willing to pay any cost, but will not pay a dime as illicit money to get anything, any benefit or get out of a situation. Similarly, when it comes to safety of our people during the current pandemic, we neither looked at any blue book to guide us, nor did we look at costs. We put people's safety first, even if this means closing operations for a few weeks. Throughout your life, you will confront situations that will tempt you towards taking the easier path. However, always tread the harder ride over the easier wrong. Second, passion, dreams, and action. Albert Einstein had once famously said, "I have no special talent, I'm just passionately curious." Find something you love to do so much you can't wait for the sun to rise to do it all over again, said Chris Gardner, the famous American businessman and speaker. For the last 19 years, I have had the privilege and honor to lead Unilever's businesses in different parts of the world. Even today, every morning when I get up with the same passion as if it were my first day as chairman. Put in passion as your true north in the life's navigation system. Dive into it with full commitment, and you will see how it will help you sail through the mightiest of oceans. We are at the most successful not because we are smarter than everyone else, not because we hustle harder, not because we make more money. The key to success and happiness is doing things you love with huge amount of passion. Never let the spark of passion simmer, as when everything else will lose its relevance. This is where you will derive your inner strength and energy. This is what will keep you going. A great test. Dreams test your resolve, and you will know a dream from a pipe dream. You will know a dream from a casual brush with something that got you excited and then it evaporates. A real dream is something that not only hangs on to you, but you will hang on to it. And it will power you through every obstacle that people and environment will throw at you. Action will delineate and define you, said Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the US. It's easy to make excuses. It saves you having to act. But where is that going to get you? Absolutely nowhere. You might not have had many lucky breaks in life, but so what? This doesn't mean you can't make things happen if you want to grow. Both personally and professionally, never make excuses. Successful people know this no matter what their starting point in life. Third, fears and failures. The brave person is not one who does not feel afraid, but the one who conquers that fear, said Nelson Mandela. How you face your fears will determine the road ahead, whether it will be exciting and adventurous. Don't give in to your fears. If you do, you won't be able to talk to your heart, said Paulo Coelho, the Brazilian novelist. If you're following your heart and you're not breaking the law, don't be afraid to challenge the societal norms. When the crowd goes one way, you could well go the other. If it feels right, go with your gut. If you're following your heart and you're not breaking the law, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to challenge the norms. Don't be afraid to make a new path for yourself. I'm reminded of Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Perhaps the biggest fear of them all is the fear of failure. Fear of failure prevents many people from acting, but failure is only the stepping stone to success. In fact, the best way to learn is through failures. When you fail, you learn. And when you fail big, you learn big. And one day you will learn that the only thing between you and your destination was the fear of failure. Don't fear failure. Fear. But low aim is the crime. In great attempts, it is glorious even to fail. It does not matter how many times you fail. What matters is the resilience you demonstrate by bouncing back from the failure. Big cricket fan, and one of the most amazing stories I have learned about resilience, and I've quoted often, is that of Marwan Atapattu, the famous Sri Lankan batsman. Making his debut in Test cricket for Sri Lanka, he scored duck in the first innings and again in his second innings. Not surprisingly, he was dropped. He went back to the nets, more practice, more first-class cricket, more runs, and he waited for the elusive call. After many months, nearly 2 years, he got a second chance. This time, he tried harder. His scores: 0 in the first innings, 1 in the second, dropped again. He went back to the grind, scored tons of runs in the first-class cricket. 17 months later, opportunity knocked again. Marwan got to bat in both innings. His scores: 0 and 0. Oh boy, back to the grind. Would the selectors ever give him another chance? They said he lacked big match experience. He did not have the temperament. His technique wasn't good enough. By now, most people would have given up cricket. Not Marwan. Undaunted, he kept trying. 3 years later, he got another chance. This time, he came good. Went on to become the captain of his country, and in his illustrious career, scored 16 hundreds and more than 5,000 runs. Remember, don't give up. Believe in yourself. And if you stay the course, the runs will eventually come. Fourth, humility and ambition. To quote the famous painter, Salvador Dali, intelligence without ambition is like a bird without wings. Ambition can literally help you fly. Achieve your dreams. When you have the ambition, you're not limited by the resources. Ambition is the single most important ingredient for success, as it overrides both talent and resources. Ambition can lead you to triumph, regardless of what is put in front of you. And when humility is intertwined with ambition, then you have a very potent combination. I call it ambition. In life, as you grow and prosper, it is very important to stay rooted, to remain humble. Because while ambition lets you wings to fly, humility keeps you grounded, ensuring that you never lose touch with yourself. As you grow professionally, you may become vulnerable to playing down on your roots and beginnings. Always remain true to your roots and never forget your house number from where you came. Putting yourself out there can be tough, and remaining authentic can be tougher. But don't waver. In fact, I would like to urge all of you to remain authentic, to stay the real you, because each one of you is unique, and there is always beauty and strength in originality. Fifth, curiosity and learning. And that brings me to the importance of continuous learning. The only way to stay ahead is to constantly evolve and stay relevant in the rapidly changing world. Be a student all your life. If you don't keep learning and reinventing yourself, how, as leaders of tomorrow, are you going to reinvent the businesses, the institution, and the enterprises you will be running? Throughout my life, I've tried to look for learning opportunities in every crisis, and I've had my fair share of crises. At a young age of 24, when I was working for Union Carbide, I was made a member of the crisis team of the Bhopal gas tragedy, still touted as the world's biggest industrial disasters. I believe a boy became a man after spending a year at Bhopal. While being chairman of Unilever in Bangladesh, I had to face the backlash of locals against Western companies, and because of the Second Gulf War. And then as chairman of North Africa and Middle East for Unilever, I had to lead my team through the Arab Spring. Facing these challenges have helped me learn and grow. You have the potential to change the world, so venture out, experiment, go for knowledge and experiences. Don't be daunted by the challenges. Sixth, agility and adaptability. Two very important traits of successful leaders. especially when the going is tough. From a competitive context, the big no longer beats the small. It is the fast that beats the slow. The pandemic taught us that we need to stay alert and responsive and adapt to the changing conditions. Let me give you an example. When the hard lockdown was implemented in the country, at Hindustan Unilever, we realized that extreme agility and adaptability were paramount to overcome the operational challenges so that we can continue to serve the country and provide essential products which were so critical to fight the virus, like soaps and sanitizers. We had little time and no past examples. The leaders in HUL implemented some fundamental changes in the ways of working and guided the teams to drive fast recovery of operations with an ultra-sharp focus on business priorities and exemplary teamwork. The planning cycle was shortened to a daily horizon. Dynamic response to an everyday changing environment was up. Several innovative disaggregated models of distribution were tested and launched so that the supplies could reach the furthest corners of the country. The shifts in consumer demand we responded to, worked with the government, industry bodies to shape the policy responses for safe revival of industrial activity using our own operations to model the way ahead. Seventh, diversity and inclusion. Let me talk about this very important learning. From a very young age, I grew up amidst multiple cultures. I learned the importance of diversity, inclusiveness, and empathy. And I work for an organization whose stated ambition is to be one of the most diverse and inclusive companies in the world. Inclusion is about the collective strength of people. It is about understanding the differences and identifying the uniqueness in people. It is leveraging individual strengths to collectively win. Embracing diversity is thus one of the most important leadership skills, irrespective of whether you're leading a team or part of it. Complementing each other's strengths and working towards a determined common goal is the only way to succeed in the long term. Tomorrow, when you start your life outside this institution, you will travel to different parts of the world, work with diverse people, embrace diversity and inclusiveness. It's the different flowers that make the bouquet beautiful. Next, courage and compassion. You need to be brave. A courageous leader will be able to look into the future and provide what I call as the brutal optimism. A clear account of the challenges ahead, but credible hope that collectively we have the strategy and the resources to overcome the crisis. To successfully navigate through the crisis, leaders must get comfortable with ambiguity and chaos. They should commit themselves to navigating through the turbulence, adjusting, improvising, and redirecting as the situation changes and new information emerges. The past few months have also reminded us the need for compassion and kindness. The world needs to change in many ways to ensure much more equitable distribution of wealth and resources. The model of capitalism, with its one-dimensional focus on short-term shareholder value creation and winner takes all, will have to change. Unilever has been at the forefront of propagating and living with the multi-stakeholder and the long-term compounding model. We have demonstrated that when we focus on consumers, customers and suppliers, employees and planet, our society and then shareholder value does get created. The aftermath of this pandemic is much more severe on the poor who risk losing their livelihoods. Today, as we stand, the rich and the developed should not shirk away from the responsibility towards the poor and the developing. As Mahatma Gandhi said, the rich must live simply so that the poor can simply live. I want you to be conscious of how blessed you are with a world-class education. Think about the migrant workers trading hundreds of kilometers with load on the head. Think about the hospital orderly on the news scrubbing the floor to keep the infection at bay, whose work today is as sacred as that of a high priest in a temple. These are also moments to remember what really matters: the health and well-being of your loved ones, the resilience of our communities, the sacrifices made by all our frontline workers, our doctors and nurses, our policemen and garbage collectors who have given their whole selves to serve others. Do try to be selfless. The last thing you would want me to tell you is stay at home. My message to you is stay close to home. not necessarily physically, but in every other way. Pursue every ambition. Go as far as your dreams may take you, but embrace a new responsibility. Responsibilities to strengthen our nation and our communities. While these have been the lessons that my journey taught me, each one of you will learn something new. The pandemic has taught us to pause, think, and reconsider everything. We now know that this is neither the first nor the last catastrophe. We have also learned how fragile the world is and the unsustainable consumption and widespread inequality, both social and economic, and that has brought the world under constant pressure. Climate change is no longer the possibility but a stark reality today. The World Bank estimates that the average temperature in India could go up by as much as 3 to 4 degrees. Many parts of the country have already witnessed unprecedented rise in temperatures. We just saw what happened when a glacier fell apart. More than 700 million people today live in extreme poverty around the world. The environment continues to deteriorate. 1 in 3 people across the world do not have access to safe drinking water. The leaders of tomorrow, all of you, will need to address this challenge that the world faces. You will need to build a world that is more sustainable, more equitable, more inclusive, and free from the biases. You will need to pursue the idea that a healthy society and planet makes for a healthy economy. I wish for you to find the courage to passionately pursue your dreams and purpose. I hope you achieve great heights and make a mark in this world. And when you travel the road to success, I wish you have the love and compassion for your fellow travelers, as well as remember those who have supported you on your journey, your teachers, your parents, your family, your friends. Thank you. God bless you all. Jai Hind.